Hi, I'm Alan R and welcome to MotorMatters and another review of a car that was launched very, very recently in South Africa. It's the Haval H7 from the GWM group. Now, you look at the front end of the car. It's big, it's bold, it's brusque a little bit, but it certainly does stand out. And first thing you see is these split headlights that we first saw on the tank models, which, as you know, are part of the same stable. And there's a lot of similarities between this H7 and the tank, but it's not quite the off-road brute that the tank is. You come around the side over here and have a look at a feature that you're going to see throughout the vehicle, is these nuts or rivets or whatever you want to call them that feature everywhere. And so on the cladding around the wheel arch, for example, look the way they show over there already. And talk about the wheel arch, nice big 19-inch diamond alloy wheels with nice fat tires, little bit of actual rubber on the road, which contributes to a really nice ride we've discovered on this test. Now, this is the middle spec model in the range, so it's a super luxury, because you know how the GWM Haval group work when it comes to their spec level. So keep in mind, it is a super luxury model. So for example, the car is wet now, so it's not going to work, but you do have keyless entry and the mirrors that fold out. And let's have a look, while I'm doing it, at the accommodation in the rear seat. Jump in over here. And let me start telling you a few little features and facts. Full leather trim, which is really nice. Driver seat set for me, and look at this legroom in the back. Now, this is called space. It really is. And a big, big panoramic roof, which is a feature of super luxury. You've got a USB over there for the back seat. Only one, but still that's enough. Family can share it, or the kids can share it in the back. So I wouldn't complain about that. Nice and easy, and as I said, the leather trim, nice stitching, looks very, very neat. Now, just swing around to the door trim itself. First of all, notice the very squared effect of how these pull handles to close the doors, and as I said, the effect, the rivets. And another interesting feature, look here, a big cup holder with elastic, so it can take pretty large water bottles or cups. That's a nice little feature and something a bit different that I haven't necessarily seen that often before. Also, note the pull-up blind on the rear windows if you want a bit more peace or security, or kiddies in the back. So this is catering very much the family. Also take note of the roof rails on top there, but that's something you would expect. You come around to the back and you immediately notice the same effect on the tail lights as I showed you on the headlights just now. Let's look at one or two things on the back before I go. Interesting, you've got your effect over here, your rear bumper, etc., but no exhaust showing. But anyway, not serious. But another way of knowing it is the middle brother of the range is the four-wheel drive badge over there, because there is another model in the range that is without four-wheel drive. So in other words, the front-wheel drive only, but same engine and gearbox. Now, let's take a look at the boot. Somewhere down under here, you have got your spare wheel, and I'm struggling to see. It is a space saver, so it is a emergency wheel, but still, but you know what? This is very nice and very well laid out and holds everything you want, but it does take up a lot of extra space. So I suppose you could look at it that way. But would you care about the space? Because let me tell you, Allen test time, and one of these days I'm going to have to start taking the shelf out again, because it does affect everything. But this is a 2 Allen boot. Yep. 2 Allen. Haven't had one of those in a while. So there we go. Nice and generous of them. Big boot space. But it's what you want, because this is a big family vehicle. Now, I mentioned powertrain. What has it got under the bonnet? 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. keep in mind petrol, delivers 170 kilowatts and 380 newton meters of torque. So it's got plenty of oomph. 9-speed automatic transmission. And as I said in this one, driving all the wheels. Keep that in mind as well. So let's have a look at it on the road and let's check it inside.
Hey Al, how are you doing this morning?
Hey Laurie, busy man, we're running around.
Yeah, and here we are in the
Haval H7.
Oh, the H7. I had this a little while ago, if you remember correctly.
You got it before me, rubber.
Yeah. And all I'm looking is at this huge infotainment screen, yeah?
It's not, it's a TV set.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey?
But I mean, you got just as big a little dash screen there as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
it has. Huge. And I mean, this 2-liter turbo petrol engine, 170 kilowatts, 380 newton meters of torque, and a 9-speed auto. How's that?
Yeah. Very nice.
And this is the all-wheel drive version as well.
Yes.
Although, unfortunately, just haven't had time to go off-road with it of any sort, which is disappointing.
But you know what I like? It's quite, if you want to call it tankish. It's got these nice, strong grab handles. Yeah. And they're very solid. Eh?
Look, it's kind of a big, square, strong, tough-looking vehicle, if you ask me.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's got those high wheel arches. That cladding on there as well.
And the stud kind of effect on the interior, on the doors, everywhere, you know, even around here, the console.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
It makes it look big and tough, but it's also got plenty luxury, which is nice.
Got a nice drive, quite stable.
Yeah, smooth.
And how's the gearbox?
Gearbox is really very, very smooth. I mean, I'm impressed. You got paddles if you want them. My only negative I've got, and I've got to mention it because you know me, is I'm finding it a touch heavy on fuel.
I must admit I did as well. But, I'm not too sure what you're showing, but mine wasn't completely out of kilter.
Okay, mine I'm showing overall, and I mean I'm at the end of the test. I've done 300-400 Ks already on this test. And I'm showing 11.6 liters per 100 as an overall.
Yeah, that's quite high.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is. I mean, as you can see now, we're in traffic, so maybe it's got a lot to do with that. But I just feel, hopefully, maybe they could do something about that.
And price-wise?
Price is amazing, $761. I mean, come on. No, but cancel. $671.
$671. I was about to say.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call you out, Mr. Wiki, but it didn't sound right to me.
No.
Because the entry level is 614.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
600, basically.
600, yeah.
It's about a 70 grand difference for the all-wheel drive. Plus, you're talking a luxury to a super luxury. So you get things like heated seats, panoramic roof, and a couple of other bits on this one that you don't get on the front-wheel drive version.
Okay, good show.
All right, thanks, Laurie.
Thanks a lot.
Out on the open road, cruising in the Magaliesburg area. And I can tell you, although there's traffic which is holding us up a little bit, this H7 is just a stunning open road cruiser. In fact, having been on a nice cruise today, the more time I spend behind the wheel like this, the better it feels. That 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo petrol, 170 kilowatts, and a very big
there are police reported ahead.
380 newton meters of torque. Navigation talking to me, as you heard. But that's a lot, and it's a very, very smooth 9-speed auto gearbox, which also makes a very big difference and makes life very pleasant. But it is a cruiser, it is a family vehicle, it's big, it's blocky and square, but I can't say that there's a lot of wind noise or anything like that, which you may have expected from the big mirrors, for example, on the outside. And it gives you none of those sort of factors or features, whatever word you want to use, so that's a good thing as well. But it is tough, it is made tough, it looks tough, that's for sure. So the all-wheel drive version, can it go off-road? I'm hoping to still get a chance to try, because there is a button down there next to the gear lever, which is a diff lock. So it's an interesting feature as well. And it obviously has multi-modes for sand, etc., etc. as well. So it is built to handle terrain. I'm pretty sure of that. It's also built for comfort. Look at the screen. It's gigantic. And I love these piano keys for your aircon system below it. It's features like that that make a difference. You've got paddles behind the steering wheel, you've got active cruise control, you've got all the active safety in the world that you can possibly want. All those kind of features are part of the deal as well, as you expect. Haven't even mentioned the gigantic panoramic roof above us, and heated front seats, and leather, and it goes on. The list just goes on, doesn't it? How's this massive handle in front of the front passenger if you want to go off-roading? So it's got a lot of features and a lot of car for the price, that is for absolutely sure. Jumping in behind the wheel, you've got a large, I think it's 8 or 10 inch instrument cluster, TFT. Obviously you can configure it, it shows you everything you want, but the figure I want you to look at, and that's where I mentioned the engine and things like that. We've done about 500 kilometers on this test, 11.6 liters per 100. Now that is a touch heavy, but on the other hand, I've got to tell you, it has been mainly urban driving, so keep that in mind. But what I want to say to you is there is the hybrid version of this as well, and I think I haven't driven it yet. I'd like to see the difference on fuel consumption with the hybrid version, whether that wouldn't be a good idea, because it's a difference of about 60,000 Rand, which is not that much when you consider. So we'll see about that one in due course. You've got your multifunction steering wheel, you've got all your controls over there. I don't have to show you these things. You know how they work, you know what they're like, everything there that you want. And obviously with 6 airbags, you've got all the safety you want as well. There is also a heads-up display as well, so just keep that in mind. Right, now we come over to the TV set. Sorry, your infotainment screen. This thing is so big, I keep calling it the TV set. But boy, look at this. Okay, it's on Android Auto at the moment, which is wireless, or I use a cable, but works wirelessly, works perfectly well. But I think you know what I'm referring to, and you know exactly where I'm going with this. It has got everything. But besides that, let's just pop her into reverse first of all and have a look here. So you've got your normal reverse camera, obviously. You've got your overhead camera. You've got a 3D there. You've got a clear chassis. Look at that. That's for off-roading, where you can see exactly what's going on underneath the front of the car. I'm not sure what assist view is. There you go. That's assist view. I'm learning this as we go. Wheel view, look at that. Right view. I think you're getting my picture. It has got every kind of camera you can want. And I think that's amazing in itself. So there you can see. It also has, of course, that feature where it shows you vehicles around you when you stop at a road. But in fact, it even shows you on the dash over here where, for example, if you're driving along, where other vehicles are relative to you, just in front of you. Quite an interesting little feature. You come down below the screen, and of course, I always like to show you, is proper, look at this, buttons for your aircon system. Although interesting, I say proper buttons. If you want to adjust temperature, you have to go onto the screen. But I don't think that's a hardship in itself. Over here, one USB at the front. Maybe I would have liked a second one. And a 12 volt, so there you go. Inductive charging pad. And also the double decker. So you have got some storage below there as well, just keeping in mind. But now, come have a look over here. You have got heated front seats, and I don't know why, but mine's switched on now. I don't recall switching it on, but anyway, there you go with 3 settings, but for both front seats. There's your diff lock. You have got a rear diff lock on this vehicle. You've got hill descent control, electronic parking brake. I think you see what I'm talking about. And you've got this very interesting, they call it the aircraft style gear shifter. This, of course, is the knob that tells you a lot, because this one, when I fiddle with this one, look what we get. I just give it a twist. I'm in normal mode at the moment, but there's a sport mode, eco mode. Now we go into the off-road modes. Look at that. Snow, mud, sand, grass or gravel, uneven. And there you go. So you've got all those different modes. How's that? That's plenty, isn't it? And it really gives you a lot of choices. Nice cup holders, big storage compartment under here with an extra little shelf. But then it's in front. I want you to look over here. Look at this. You've got nice, solid, and look at this grab handle here for your front passenger. So if you do want to do some off-roading, they can hang on for dear life if they need to. So I'm going to say to you, this vehicle certainly has all the kit, all the spec. It's a super luxury, as I said. So you know what that means in GWM and Haval speak. That's why you're getting the heated seats, for example, the panoramic roof, a few features like that. Where it's a little bit confusing is the two-wheel drive version is a luxury, whereas this one's a super luxury. So it's not only the four-wheel drive that you get between the two, you do get, as I said, a couple of extra items like heated seats, panoramic roof, and one or two others that we can think of along the way. Money. What is this vehicle going to cost me? Well, 671,950 Rand. You can get into the two-wheel drive one. I've just told you now the difference for 601,000. So it's 70,000 difference for four-wheel drive and a few extra spec items. The hybrid version, 720,000 Rand. Now, as I said earlier, I want to investigate the fuel consumption side between those two. Could be interesting. You also get, interestingly, a 7-year, 75,000 kilometer service plan, which is a bit different and longer than a lot of other vehicles, but obviously dependent on your mileage as well. But you can also always negotiate and pay a bit extra to extend those these days. So that's a useful feature. Overall, it's big, it's bold. It certainly sits nicely on the road. It's smooth and comfortable on the road to drive. The fuel, we'll talk about. But besides that, this certainly is a package that I think delivers in spades. I think you need to check it out for yourself. For MotorMatters, I'm Alan R. See you next time.